Welcome to the Federal Robotics and Cognitive Consortium, Kofax edition. The use case presented to us is an IT purchase process. What the purchasing officer must do is navigate to the GSA website, search a product based on certain parameters, then repeat that search for another product and different parameters, then ultimately consolidate those results of the different products into a single report. And then what we'll do is notify the purchasing officer. So as the purchasing officer, I come in and first thing I do is get my cup of coffee. And then as I settle down into my desk, I notice I have an email popped up in there, notifying me that my report is ready. So my interest in the GSA products has now generated this report, and now I can go through this, looking at the information that's been consolidated for me, and then start doing my work. Normally, I have to go to the GSA search page, enter the criteria that I want to search on to include the price range that I want available, and then click on the search button, and it will generate a list of reports that I've got to scroll through, get all the details of it, put that into a single report. So I have to copy and paste that information into a report, and it takes me a long time to get all those details together. So what I'm looking for is a way to automate that. But a robot has also got to be able to handle exceptions. So when a survey pops up, for example, on this screen, it's got to be able to work around that. So what I'll demonstrate is starting out with a simple way to show how to build a robot and show our no-code interface. During the runtime, and without using a desktop browser, right within the tool itself, I'll show you'll be able to see the robot working and in progress. Then I'll show some of the auditability aspects of it and the systems integrations, working with Outlook, Excel, and Internet browser. Also, Kofax includes an integrated analytics to help monitor the overall automation platform and what's going on to see where there may be bottlenecks and where there may have issues. So first, let's see how easy it is to build a bot. I'm going to go into the designer and start out with a very simple no-code interface, but I'm going to enter in the website information for the GSA search website. It takes me to loading up this page. Notice it's within the browser itself, or within the tool, the designer itself, and I've got full access to the underlying HTML and capabilities. Then as I act on this web page, for example, clicking on this advanced search, notice it is building the workflow as I go through it. Then I can come in and start entering text. So I can enter the text for the laptops that I want to search on. Then I go to the price range, put in the provided parameters, those price range that I want to be able to show for the laptop search. And again, once I have that range in there, it is building that workflow for me. So as I am interacting with this website, it's building out the workflow, and I come down and click on the search button. By doing so, it will then load up the search results that I can scroll down, and I've got this full listing now. This is where I want to get the information, to get the item name, the number, the price, the number, model number of it. And then as you can see here, I've got to go on to the next page. So you can see as I progress and go through this and go to the next page to get the listing of it, it continues on. And I think that the default behavior for this is it will give you 500 listings on there, so a total of 5 pages. So let's get to my runtime robot. So this is a robot that I built out to handle those exceptions, to work with it, and to do other things. So again, I'm not using a desktop browser. It's right within the tool set itself. And what I'm going to do is show where I'm going to first go get my printer, my laptop information, then my printer information, based on these parameters. So these are the provided parameters that I want to be able to search on, the price range and the functionality. And as I expand out these groups, which allow you to better visualize what's going on, I can see more details when I'm going to load the page, going to search, enter the criteria, and click on the search button. Then once I do that, I've got to loop through it, because if you remember, each one of those pages had 25 results on it, and then go on to the next page. So as I go through the next page, then I want to extract, or as each one of those selections, I want to be able to extract the values, the information off of it that I need to build my report. and then ultimately start filling out my Excel spreadsheet. And this is all will be done also right within the design tool without going out and using any other type of automation. So what I'm going to do is put a breakpoint on here at the end. So at this breakpoint is allow me to stop the robot in place so I can show you additional information. So now as I go back and click on the run button, the robot will start executing, and you'll see the green progression as it goes through each of the activities, each of the steps that are in the robot until I get to the very end. So it stopped here at the breakpoint that I set for it. And now to show you the state where it is, it's entering that first line of information. Am I starting to build out that Excel spreadsheet? Also on the search page, scroll down a little bit here, I can see that's where it's getting the details from. So it selected the first item on there. It's gathering all the details from that based on the parameters, the criteria that I put in there. And now I can get the pricing, the link information, the hyperlink that's associated with it, and the description. So those are the items that I wanted to build my spreadsheet and have on the report. So that's what I have selected here. Additionally, we have access to everything that's on that web page. So things like some of the cookies and other things, so other information that's a part of that page itself. We may be able to use that. So as I turn off the toggle, the breakpoint here, and then go back and click on run, it will continue running. Let me collapse the group back down again. And as it runs through all of the laptop criteria and continue working. So this is I'm going to let it now continue running, show it in progress. So it's the ability to see it working throughout the progress. And I've got the group expanded out here, and you'll be able to see as it repeats each of the page, loops through all the items on the page, and then repeats for the next page. So as this is loading up now, getting to that, putting in that search criteria, now you can see it populating down below. And it will start showing information basically in groups of 25 for each page that does come up. So there's a total of 20 pages, so that gives me my 500 that I'm working with. So as I go through this and kind of advance as it's going, now it's got the 500 laptop information, and it's going to move on to the printers. So it completed all of the laptop entries. It got all 500 of those, and now it started working on the printer information. So now, as you can see in the return values there, those are printer details that's working with it. So as it ultimately gets to now a total of 1,000, because I got 500 laptops and 500 printer items entries in there, it only took a minute or so to be able to do that. So a matter of minutes to get that information, send the email with the attached spreadsheet. So this is my email that I came into first thing in the morning. So I didn't spend all day building this report. I started my day with it, and now I can make decisions off of it. So scroll through here. I got a laptop tab. I've got a printers tab. All 500 entries are in there, and I made these hyperlinks. So if I need more details for any one of the entries in there, I can click on it, and it'll take me to that details page. So that's giving me the full report and where I can do my work. Now, to show you a way of having an on-demand bot service, if I wanted to change any of that criteria, I can go in, open this up, enter in different criteria here. So these are different. This is different parameters than what the robot that's running just executed, but it allows me to do some on-demand, and maybe I change some of the. In this case, I am changing the price range that I want to search on. So I entered in different information before that I originally ran for the robot, and in this case, I'm narrowing the price range so that I can get other details for it. This will allow me to get a different report. So as you can see with the little toggle there, I could schedule the run when I want it to do, and just point out that from previous runs in my history, I had different parameters in there as well. So now this one's in progress. It'll do the same thing. Will run just like the other robot did, and once it completes, then it will send me an email. So some of the aspects for the auditability of the automation platform. Our management console has full administration and and monitoring of all the robots. So I can see any schedules that I've got set up. So in this case, I've got this robot running every 10 minutes to get different results. And then this is showing a log of all the start and end and stop times for that and the successes. So it's showing me everything in there. Since I have all that underlying information, I can also create dashboards or analytics to track what I'm doing. So my simple single robot, where I just have the one robot running, it can show you I ran it a lot on Saturday, I didn't run it on Sunday, and I ran it a few more times on Monday before I made this recording. And based on that schedule, I can see some of the details. Again, show this where I didn't have any runs on Sunday, but on Monday and Saturday I did, and I can see the schedule, all those schedule runs, the status of them, and I can see the other details here to show kind of the consistent run times, between a 5 and a 6 minute time frame for this particular robot when it's running. And I can narrow down the search on this so that it will show this is showing over a certain time period, 48 hours, and I can show it for different timelines. Now for my production system, this is going to have a lot more data in it because it's been running over time, where in this case I've got 3 robo servers running and I'm tracking the information. But you can see on this one, as I hover over any of the graphs, I get more details that's associated with it. And those details give me some idea of the robots that are running, that are being executed, and I can change the time period here. Here's where I can, this is looking at the last hour, but if I wanted to see over the last 30 days, you see it spreads out the time frame and shows where I have more servers were online at that time, and it shows everything that's associated with it. So I've got in this system, I've got both non-production and production clusters, and it shows their performance. And again, I can change the time period to get different results, so I can narrow it down to a specific time frame that I want to look at. Now I've got multiple projects on here. This is showing where they're listed out. Again, as before, where I can change the time period to look at the different results, and this will help me identify where there may be bottlenecks. So I've got the color changing to allow me to go in to investigate, to look at different information. So in the heat map one is the one that specifically allows me to see, if I look at this one over an hourly period on these particular days, I did exceed kind of the threshold, so I may want to go investigate what caused these to turn red, so I can see the details of what's going on and to see those number of runs that's associated with that. So those analytics allow me to monitor and track my system while it's performing. So to recap, I did for the demonstration, I showed a simple way to build a bot and showed how the robot could be monitored and the ability to see it working in progress. Then covered some details about the auditability of it, and as part of that running robot, integrating with other systems, or integrating with other applications and systems such as Outlook, Excel, or an internet browser as needed. And then finally, the integrated analytics that are bundled in the platform itself to allow you to have full visibility of your system as it's working. Thank you for your time, and please come see me at the booth.